Welcome, agents, to strain 83-DCS of the 0 Point Report, the #1 broadcast all about the news surrounding the Secret World IP. Today is Thursday, September 7th, 2023, and I'm Ocho, one of the hosts for this evening. With me tonight, we have Two-Ton Waffle.
That's right, and you're not.
I am not a waffle. I try not to be. I don't want to steal your brand. And we have Jimmy the Rabbit.
Ew.
Hey. So we're currently hanging out in Agartha, as we normally do. Jimmy is working on his current run of a character.
Yeah, I'm in Dark Agartha at the moment.
You could go watch Jimmy's. You could dual watch Jimmy's stream as well. Don't go away from our stream. You could dual watch Jimmy's stream as he is going around the secret world. Of course, he is streaming simultaneous because he is basically the character that you're doing. You're doing nothing but streaming them. You're streaming everything.
Yeah, this character only gets played on stream,
and
I haven't. The only days I've missed is when my family went on vacation. It was 4 days, but since May 1st, that's the only days I've missed.
Okay,
including when I flew to New York for work and back. I just streamed early the one day and very late the second day when I came back.
Say, where are you at now? I assume you posted your own. What?
They said I'm way quieter. I don't know why that would be. Oh, probably. Yeah, it's just because my mic isn't as loud as the audio coming in from my.
I turned you up a little bit. My end.
I don't think that's the issue.
No, because they didn't say that on our chat. They probably said that in Jimmy's chat.
Yeah. I think it's on my side. It's probably just my Chrome part's a lot louder somehow. Wonder. I could probably adjust that actually. Let me take time out of a timed Dark Agartha to go adjust this.
I like that how on our side, Waffle has placed your stream in the upper right-hand corner.
Oh, nice! That's cool.
That's very nice, dude. I love it.
I got 4 minutes to kill Gatekeeper now, and I don't have wings yet. Ooh, that might be a problem.
I'll say, but yeah, you just posted. You're up to 482 hours played. Item power 1266 on your free-to-play Road to E17 character. On your 152nd stream?
Yeah. There were some days where I did 2 streams. So I did like a lunch hour stream and then a regular one.
Yeah, that's good numbers, man. Like I said, it makes me feel okay that it at least took a while for you to get to where my IP level is at. Because I'm such a game jumper personally, so
same here. It's like I can do maybe 1 to 2 months one particular game, but I need to jump around.
It's like it's not even worse. I
have to force myself to do it sometimes.
Like I'm gonna give for 10 days and be like, nope, I want to play something else.
He's healing. That's not good. I don't have 2 in pairs.
I see him up there.
Yeah, he healed up. That's not great for me.
No.
Although, maybe I'll hit him enough to actually get wings charged before this encounter ends. Maybe.
I'll say, but if you're joining us in chat, thank you for doing so. Joining us on this Thursday night where we're actually, hey, we could actually get 2 shows in this month. How do we feel about that?
We could do what now?
We get 2 shows in this month.
What?
Whoa.
Craziness.
Let's not get crazy with the cheese whiz over here, okay?
Hey, this is just the first week of September, okay? Oof. We got a couple more weeks to go.
Although we should have Equinox this month.
We should.
I
did not put that in the notes, but it's true. We should have the Equinox. Yes.
I know this because my kid's looking forward to getting the sprint. Like, it's all he wants.
Nice. My kid just started kindergarten, so I have not started him into the secret world yet.
What?
Soon, right?
I figure it's more like 8 years old. Get him into it. I'll start him with the I'll teach my kids that this is what D&D is, and I'm just gonna give him like the tabletop RPG book. Be like, this is what D&D is. He's gonna learn that first.
Oh my
We're
god!
gonna be like, no, it's like high fantasy, and he's like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't take fall damage.
He's also really into. My wife's been watching Dimension 20.
Okay.
Where they were like playing D&D, and he started watching with her, and now he's like really into the idea of D&D. And I was like, Secret World role-playing game is coming.
It's coming, yeah.
Soon. Yeah.
Because he asked if he could have D&D for Christmas.
Okay. I think it's really cool. I think because, the concept of just D&D in general has always been just collaborative storytelling, which is it's just a cool practice. It really is. Like, you get to hang out with friends. You get to, play other powerful people. It's fun. And the fact
or you
that
can go completely off the wall crazy too. So,
what's that?
Or you can go completely off the wall crazy kind of characters.
You absolutely can.
Yeah.
Or you can min-max, or you can just basically be like, no, I'm creating like, the most powerful character I can. Like, you could go either way, and both ways of play are just as valid as anything else.
Yeah.
Well, there are the few that are, I'm the emo vampire, werewolf, supervillain that has an incredible backstory, but
that's just power fantasy, man. Though that's just I remember there was one time I went to a Renaissance fair out in Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. It's actually really good. It's one of the better ones I've been to, and it's out in Mount Hope Winery and Estate. So it's on a winery, which is a great start for a Renaissance fair.
Sure.
But I remember one time it was like, donate blood, and we'll give you like a free entrance ticket or something like that. And I was like, I haven't donated blood in a while.
Why do you want my blood? What the hell is this shit about?
What are you going to do with it?
It was just like
Is business or pleasure?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I could lose a pint and be okay. It'll make the alcohol I drink more effective. Listen, I was young, and it worked. So, but I remember I was sitting there waiting to be like one of the next ones to give blood, and there was a kid sitting next to me, and he had also come to the Renaissance Fair, but he had long hair, and he had like giant like Wolverine claws.
Okay.
And it was sort of like,
I like turtles.
Yeah. sort of like super nerd. Like, I'm gonna go to the Renaissance Fair with like giant Wolverine claws, and it's just like, I was like, I don't even know what the how I came to that decision, but there was a process, there was a way there, and I didn't hold it against him or anything like that, because everyone there is a nerd to some extent, right? Like, everyone there is nerdy.
I used to be friends with a couple of. There's a set of twins I went to high school with. They're guys, and they were super. He wore a Superman. One of them wore a Superman costume to high school for no reason other than to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a special day. It wasn't like a movie. Even like a movie was premiering or something. It was like, I'm wearing a Superman costume today, and just wore it to school.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, I can give you many reasons why you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, now it's like,
Actually,
there's a bunch of reasons why you don't do that, but
but nonetheless, he was unfazed. I think they also had Star Trek outfits or uniforms, whatever you want to call them.
Both
they were into it, man.
So it's like just that, but it was like that concept of like, I'm going to go to the Renaissance Fair and I'm going to be Wolverine. Like, okay, man. Hey, we're all nerds here to a certain extent. And so, right. So creating a character in D&D that's just like, I'm going to be this
the
emo vampire that's gonna,
tragic backstory.
Yeah. Okay, man. You just want to be Batman? It's cool.
No, man, my parents weren't shot. They were knifed.
When in doubt, be Batman. You can't be yourself.
I mean, what other way, I'm
actually very surprised that like no one's been orphaning kids to see if they can make superheroes yet.
How can we make this tragic? Just tragic enough.
Hey, Volmer, welcome.
That does sound like a Secret World sort of story. A secret organization that just kills kids' parents just to see how it happens.
Yeah, I mean that's like if you look at every superhero, like their origin story is their parents died, right?
Right.
Like,
they just do it with random animals. So they're like, okay, so this kid, we're gonna kill his parents, but then make badgers like come out of the
Badger Man.
So later on in life, he has like this fear, but heavy
real
respect.
Life. I asked my wife this question like literally earlier this week. I was like, I was surprised no one's gone psycho off the rails and done this, attempted to like see if they could make it happen in real life. Like people do enough other insane.
Yeah, so there's enough insanity in the world where you're like, what if I try to be a superhero?
Like, well, clearly someone's parents are gonna have to die. That's just the rules. Everyone knows that.
You need to traumatize them enough to make that transition happen, and then traumatize them enough so that they become a billionaire.
No, so specifically, that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised there's not just like a spat of like rich parents getting killed as people try and make the next Batman.
Very true. You gotta have that canon event.
I'm not encouraging that activity. Just
FYI. We're not saying it.
Yeah, we don't. We condone if you.
We're just surprised it hasn't happened yet. It's true.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Hey, who says it hasn't happened? Some rich kid's parents get offed in an alleyway after going to see a movie or a play in a sketchy neighborhood for some odd reason.
There are lots of plays held in sketchy neighborhoods. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that part is a little sus, actually.
It's like, yeah, let's go to like this playhouse that's in the middle of like.
Yeah, let's go see.
I can see that happening in New York City. New York City is like one street over. It's like, Death Street or something. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to go far.
I feel like it used to be that like back in the 80s and early 90s when it was like on Broadway, you'd have like, I don't know, the Olive Garden in Times Square, and then also in Times Square you'd also have like the strip clubs and whatnot, like still like right there.
Yeah.
Gotham is literally another name for New York City. I thought, and this is weird, I thought Gotham in the Batman universe, in the DC universe, was actually like around like it's New York City, but its location was actually more like Atlantic City.
Well, it was like all the high rises is kind of like the dingy part, because Metropolis is pretty much on the other side of the river. And it was like the bright city of the future is Metropolis, while Gotham is like, redheaded stepchild.
Those aren't actually that close, because Gotham's the good one compared to Bloodhaven. Bloodhaven's the shit one.
Okay, the redhead stepchild is Gotham, and the good son is.
Oh yeah. Bomber. It's like it takes its name from New York City, absolutely, and it takes its whatever from New York City in relation.
Well,
to
actually,
Batman. Just Metropolis
actually.
Superman. In comic book depictions, the exact distance between Gotham and Metropolis has varied over the years, with the cities usually being within driving distance of each other. The two cities are sometimes portrayed as twin cities on opposite sides of the Delaware Bay, with Gotham in New Jersey and Metropolis in Delaware.
I found a map of this shit like earlier this year or something. Someone made a map where they like tried to fit everything together, including like oh god, what's the Flash's city?
Oh, Star City.
Yeah, including like Star City, like all the major ones. There's a map. Someone did put a lot of work into trying to figure out.
Well, I remember like especially the Arrowverse shows. It was like Star City was quite a ways away from where like Oliver Queen and that city. I forget the name of it. It was like maybe a
Everyone has to
good
have their own
few
goddamn
hours
city.
drive. Yeah.
I actually
Rapid
found a
Pratt, thanks for
good
the bits.
picture here. I'm gonna send it to you.
I
How do
have to
you
go
want
look
how do
it
you
up
want me to send
again.
this to you?
But it was one of those, oddly enough, something my wife and I were discussing one time, and I went Googling and found a pretty good map of that shit.
Also, I found what looks to be a map on the Wikipedia from who knows what, Amazing World of DC Comics number 14, March 77, where they place Gotham City like across from Atlantic City. Yeah, in New Jersey, but in like I know New Jersey. There's nothing down there on Delaware Bay. There's like that's like
There is now.
that's like near Cape May. It's Gotham City.
Well, I think because some of it, remember, like Gotham City had the whole like
I'll put it in our
bootlegging
guest
tunnels for the boats and shit, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
has like a harbor. I don't know. Something about like its other aspects, like
Yeah, and putting it on
helps you
in
figure
that
out
part
where
of
to
New Jersey
place it.
puts it on the Delaware Bay, so it has a big harbor, and so does Metropolis.
There you go.
Yeah, because Gotham does have an actual harbor. You have the gangs, Falcone. I think Falcone owned or controlled that area. Pretty much controlled a lot of places in Gotham.
Different architecture. I
Oh, it has a
some of
very
the architecture stays the same, but
Well, it's more like Gothic.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gothic. Yeah, that's how I would describe it. It's very like gargoyles and giant like falcons on top of it.
I mean, even in what was those like the Batman and Robin or
but that is the thing with
campy
comics,
type
is like
they're still
they
very
just keep
Gothic
writing them.
looking.
They just keep writing and reinventing them though, so like they
true.
do get rendered like 5 billion different ways over the years.
Yeah, so nothing is ever canon per se, except for maybe the name.
Like it's canon for as long as it's canon until it's not canon.
yeah, until they're just like, nah, we're gonna change it for something else. That's why over time I've learned to take canon just as a concept, not as serious.
Yeah,
It's very loose. It's more like guidelines.
Yeah, because like you can either be really strict to canon, or you can create like a really good story, and rarely do the two like fully intersect.
That's what I mean about like comics. Though it doesn't make sense because the comic book publishers don't even adhere to their own thing. You know what I mean? So like you can't have canon because the canon isn't canon.
Even what's canon has been contradicted so many times. So I thought, I thought it was Gotham was like, oh, it's gonna be around Atlantic City. I'd expect it to be like on Delaware Bay.
Distinct
and
lack
Metropolis
of
was just in Delaware, just Baltimore. No, it's Maryland. Distinct lack of Zeppelins.
Led Zeppelins.
Hey, Scratch.
Howdy.
Mr. Fandango.
We need, definitely need more.
Yeah,
Zeppelins.
there was. In Batman anime series, there is Zeppelins.
Oh, that's what that means. I was like, what abbreviation is that?
Was he trying to say? Well, he tried to say bats. Bats Gotham.
I thought it was just a bad spelling.
Like Volver, you need to change out your autocorrect.
Vollmer is on such close terms with Batman. They call them Bats.
Mr. Bats is my father.
My friend Bats. No, yes, that means the animated series.
Yeah, it makes sense now that it's that Waffle said it, but I didn't grasp it when I first saw it.
I know these young people and their acronyms.
Kids today.
Kids.
I'm actually really bad with acronyms, which is not great considering that most MMO players use like acronyms all the damn time.
50 billion acronyms.
Yeah.
NP. That was an acronym.
It was.
Just so you know. Yeah, it was. NP is for no problem.
No problem. But like I remember I had trouble with it even back in like the days of playing like Warcraft. They'd be like, "Oh, we're doing HCF PD. I'm like, I don't even know. Stop. Just stop.
I love how like we have 2-letter abbreviations for like most stuff in Secret World,
Yep.
except City of the Sun God, which is CTOSG.
And you spend more time trying to decipher it. You're like, what?
See, that one I can get. That like the longer
Carpathian?
the acronym is, the easier I can get it.
COTSG? Maybe I said
Well,
that
someone's
wrong.
like, "Oh, we're just
Either
doing
way.
HF." I'm like, what the hell's HF?
That's Hellfallen. That's easy.
It's Hellfallen, yeah. But it takes me way too long to figure it out. I would have said DCAU, DC Animated Universe. But I don't actually recall if Gotham is still the same as it was in Batman the Animated Series. I didn't know you were such a aficionado. This is actually a topic I know nothing about. Well, very little.
For shame. Turn in your card, sir.
Ah.
Turn in your card.
Turn your key, sir.
What can I say? Comics is one of the things that just passed me by.
Well, it's also, I mean, if you're like living and breathing, you got to be like totally dedicated. That's 13 hours a day. It changes so much from like section to section within the same series. It's like, oh, it's like the new, I know it's like the new 52, and then after that is like something else, and it's just like completely changes
I love the arc where Booster Gold saves the multiverse with a touchdown pass. That's fucking amazing. Like, props to them for doing that.
Yes,
shit was hilarious. That happened back when I was still working at a comic store. No, I know Booster Gold's always doing nonsense, but the new 50, I think it was new 52, when they did like the 52 worlds and stuff, and they had like, I think Mr. Mind was ended up being the villain or something, but like this huge year-long like multi-title across the whole publishing spectrum for DC, and the finale is like a multi-page spread of Booster Gold throwing a touchdown pass that like puts, I think Skeets is like in the football through like a wormhole or something, and that like undoes everything and beats my, like, it's fucking hilarious.
You're like, sure, why
like,
not?
Whole deal, like year long, like you had to buy every title coming out to follow the goddamn story, right? Like that's why they do those things, by the way, is to
yeah,
because you have people that just buy like a particular title, and they do the crossover events to like get those numbers up, right? Because now the guy that only buys Superman is going to buy the other ones because you need to see the rest of the story. But to do all of that and have the finale be Booster Gold touchdown pass was fucking amazing. And we had like one customer, this guy, like I don't think he called the touchdown pass, but he called who the villain was going to be, which like no one had any idea it was going to be that stupid worm dude. I think it's like a Shazam villain.
Okay,
sure.
It's like that's beyond my ken.
Yeah, that goes on my my knowledge.
Is it beyond your Barbie as well?
Beyond my Barbie as well.
You can say it's beyond the veil.
Oh,
shit. Ooh.
Oh, call back.
Got him. Very nice, sir.
I was playing that in my head. I'm like, should I go with it? Yeah, why the hell not? Let's go with it.
Agartha Defiled. Okay. AD.
Yeah. No one ever called it AD that I recall.
There was just Flappy Raid.
It might have been, someone might have called it Agartha Defiled. I never remember anyone using the acronym AD, though, is what I was saying.
What was the acronym in Secret World for the like doing all the bosses, doing like getting a group to do all the bosses in a row?
You did like 12s, 18s, 24s.
Yes. That thoroughly confused me for a long time.
Yeah. Who wants to go for 18s?
Yeah.
Which literally just
do
means
18s or 24s.
Bosses.
Like,
yeah. All that number was the number of bosses. So 12s was just like 2 dungeons because it's 6 and 6, right? And like 4 dungeons was 24s. But I think 18s Was 18s because you skipped certain bosses? I'm pretty sure.
I have no idea.
We just called that shit Eidolon. I don't remember anyone calling that thing anything other than Eidolon.
The Corpse
Yeah,
Island.
but 18s wasn't like 18s all the time. It would be like 15s or something, or 17s.
But I was also never a real big dungeon player in the first place. So that just blew me by. But sometimes it'd be like, how
did that not impair?
18s, HR, blah blah blah, and I was like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Some people always noped out for the machine tyrant. Poor machine tyrant.
Yeah, well, because that thing was really exceptionally shitty when your computer couldn't see the reticles. I remember when I finally got a new computer and it was like, oh wait, these things just don't spawn under your feet? You can see them coming? What? Because literally, like, I always died to them because by the time my computer rendered the circle, it was under my feet. And I was like, how the fuck are you supposed to dodge these? They're just on top of you.
Get good, noob.
Yeah, get a good computer is what that means. As soon as I got a new computer and I could see them rendering in, I was like dancing between them. I was like, this shit's easy. What the hell?
You're like, whoa.
Sadly, that was actually, I knew some other people were like, people gave them shit about being like, not great at the game. And it actually wasn't them at all. It was literally just their hardware was too old. And they just couldn't see things happening, which causes you to die a lot.
Listen, I always have that story of it was after one Beyond the Veil episode. Since you mentioned it, I'm going to bring back Beyond the Veil. It was after one of those episodes that it was when they still had like the giant bosses in the regular game world. And I remember there was one in I believe it was Besieged Farmlands that like all of us on the show were like, oh, let's go do that one. It's like, okay. So we all jumped to do that one. And they famously were PowerPoint presentations. They were, because there were so many people all in one concentrated spot and the problems with the engine and everyone's loading everyone's everything, that it spent so much time that all you had to do was just sort of get in there and just try to get a couple of hits in sometimes because that's all you could see. And I remember one time on my screen, the boss was killed. And I believe, and my PC, which is actually probably still the same PC I'm using right now, was good enough to handle it, and it was just fine. And so, we downed the boss, and everything was okay. And then I think it was it on Griff's computer at the time, or maybe someone else's, but like the same boss that we were killing wasn't dead for another like 3 or 4 minutes. There was like such a disparity between when the boss actually died and when they actually saw it die, because it was so far apart from each other.
Yeah, because I remember those slideshow events as well, where you walk in and you're pretty much like spamming just like your first
just your builder. Yeah,
it's just a builder, just in case. Like I at least I needed to get a tag on it.
Yeah, just get a hit in, couple of hits in. Can't see most of its big attacks, but whatever.
Next thing you know, you're like halfway across the area because you got like knocked back and you're dead.
Yeah, like just let it go.
Yep.
But I thought that was funny. They'd be like, and dead, and it's like, wait, what are you talking about? Like the same boss that you're standing next to me?
Were you fighting a different boss?
Yeah, were you fighting something else? Like, no, you're standing right next to me. It's like, oh, it just ended for me. I'm like, okay. It's like, well, I could have told you the outcome anyway.
Yeah, that's the way. Like always a kind of a shit show.
That's the way it was.
A lot of people liked it for some reason, but yeah, whatever floats your boat.
Listen, it was still fun.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it wasn't fun. It was just, it was
there was plenty of times it wasn't exactly fun.
No, I mean, like, yeah.
When you just suddenly just keeled over from who knows
what hits you.
Yeah. You didn't see it coming. So we do have news for the Secret World, believe it or not. Two things I would point out for Secret World: the tabletop RPG update number 34 was put out by Star Anvil Studios' Ross Watson on September 2nd. I said his name weird. Ross Watson says, "Greetings, you wonderful human beings. Star Anvil Studios is very pleased to say that we've received a ton of positive feedback about the raw PDF of the manuscript for the core rulebook. So glad you guys are enjoying the lore and mechanics for the RPG. Layout progress. The core rulebook is currently undergoing layout. We'll let you know once we get everything set up for the final PDF, but it is underway. More double checking the process, and it looks like the book may be a bit bigger, meaning more pages than we originally estimated. We will definitely keep you posted. Editing progress. All the stretch goals are fully edited. Our editor, Jess Medberry, has been awesome to work with, and she's knocked out all the text like a true professional. Basically, everything is done being edited, and we can cross this one off the to-do list. Art progress. Most of the art is done. The layout process may reveal some areas where we need a few additional pieces to really make the book look sharp, but the process is well on its way, and we are not anticipating any problems. We are planning to show off some more completed artwork at the end of the month. See below. And stay tuned. We are planning another update this month, aiming for the last Saturday of the month and sticking to the last Saturday going forward for the most part. So stay tuned, and we will have more info for you on the progress of the project. Once again, thank you all so much for helping us make this project go from idea to reality, and we're very excited to get the final PDFs ready for you to enjoy. So they're well on their way. Our last episode, we talked to them. We had them on the show, discussing all about the raw PDF, and yeah, there's been a lot of comments I've seen, but overall, still relatively positive stuff. I haven't seen too much really negative.
I'm sure there's the inevitable, like, didn't understand it's a raw whatever and freaks out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like the people that get into like alpha testing and they're like, this shit sucks. Dude, you joined the alpha. What are you talking about?
So yeah, Farmer says they have a heap of feedback ready for him. Yeah, I haven't heard when they're saying like, okay, because they're like, don't freak out, don't like bombard us with feedback. Maybe I should ask them that and be like, hey, when is it okay to give you guys feedback? When do you want to know? They originally said to wait till they have the layouts done. They're right, yes.
I mean, that makes sense.
The layout is going.
I feel like it's going to be hard to see. Also, I have a feeling a lot of stuff might get adjusted during layouts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of just makes sense to me. Like when you're gonna lay it out, things might get tweaked or formatted or changed. So,
like even when I felt like I was reading it, there seemed a lot of like duplicate information. Like stuff was said multiple times, like the same things. So it's like, yeah, I could see them in layout basically trimming that down.
Right, because now you're going to be arranging it and going, well, wait, I don't need this, or we can,
we want to put a badass picture
over here. Yeah.
Other news: Kari Wahlgren is going to be at College Station Comic-Con this weekend. This popped up because, hey, Kari Wahlgren, can't go wrong. They say, hey, Texas, looking forward to seeing you all this weekend at College Station Comic-Con. You bring cool stuff to sign, and I'll bring coffee. See you soon. And in a video she posted at the same time, she's mentioned, she's like, oh, I'm going to have all kinds of different characters for you to sign, like this, like some anime character. I don't know all of her work, but like some anime character from this, something from like Rick and Morty, something from something else. And she did not mention Kirsten Geary.
I was going to say, you probably should have led with, in case anyone doesn't know who you're talking
going
about,
to this convention.
That I'm just saying, you probably should have led with, that's KG, for the people that maybe don't know the name.
Yes. Also true. Yes, Kari Wahlgren, who voices Kirsten Geary. Yes.
There you go.
True.
I mean, we know, like, I know, like, Vollmer knows, but like
it's
not
true.
Everyone that's a fan of even of Kirsten Geary necessarily knows who the voice actor is, right? Like,
we try. At least I try to make it a point to follow all the voice actors and seeing what else they're doing. And for certain stuff like this, like, oh, they're gonna be at a Comic-Con. Like, if that was like, if I'm not anywhere near Texas, but if I was closest, I'd be like, I am absolutely going. And eventually to be like, hey, if I could bring like bring the tabletop RPG book for Secret World and have Kari Wahlgren sign it, like, yo, that's That's premier swag right there.
I still have a shrink wrapped The Secret World DVD.
Not bad.
I can have that. Get that signed, I suppose,
Yeah.
by somebody sometime. I think Kalani sent me that.
See, I'm trying to think. I have a lot of Secret World stuff, but I'm not sure if I have anything like signable. Maybe like the.
I never bought a physical copy. I just had it through Steam, but I got sent one.
I wonder what I would have.
Oh, I missed the platform. Damn it.
Maybe the pin. Maybe like the pin case. I don't know. But I think that's cool that she's going to a convention. And how cool would that be to be like, oh, Kari Wahlgren, voice of Kirsten Geary. Could you sign something Kirsten Geary?
You bring a Nickelback CD. Amazing. I would do that. I would 100% do that if I was
like,
anywhere
you sign
near
this
there.
and also this Nickelback CD. She'll be like, what the heck are you doing? She's like, I'll sign it.
She doesn't remember voicing a line about feeding you liquefied kittens and making you listen to Nickelback for eternity. She's got to remember that line.
She might. It's true.
That would be hilarious.
Be like, also, that line. It's gonna be like, what the fuck?
That's like the most
guy? Security.
Most recent. I think that's the most recent line, probably, or one of the most recent.
Is it? Is that like a South Africa line?
Yeah, it's South Africa. It's when they show up. The faction leader shows up at the Garthwell.
So okay, yeah, so that would be.
If it's not the most recent, like there might be some lines after that, like when you beat it or something. But like,
yeah,
definitely like the most recent work she would have done on the game is from there. That's such a killer line.
So she might remember. Be like, yes, I know that line. It's ingrained in my brain now. This guy in a top hat made me say it. Other games in the Funcom portfolio, Dune Spice Wars. On their official Twitter account, they announced that Dune Spice Wars will be releasing out of early access and officially launching into version 1.0 on September 14th. A bit of notables from the FAQ. How much will it cost? So the current price for the game is $29.99, but will rise to $34.99 upon the launch out of early access. So if you buy it before then, it's going to be $5 cheaper. How big will the download be? The game client is likely to be around 4 gigabytes, which is itty bitty these days.
Yeah, right. It'd fit that on a USB stick.
I'm actually very I love old school games because part of the old school games was that they were constricted by the media itself. They're constricted by the floppy disks. When you start getting into CDs, they started to be like, there's a little constriction there of the CDs, but it was mostly like in the days of like floppy disks. And it was like, how much could they put onto the floppy disks? Because you had hard limits.
Yeah.
Even when you started going with multiple floppy disks, you still had those relative hard limits.
It's like, how many discs can you fit inside a box that can fit on a shelf?
Yeah, it was how many discs, because each disc cost you to produce it a lot more. So you had to be. So there was very heavy restrictions, and they just became like so creative about how they were able to fit as bigger and bigger games onto relative floppy drive sizes. And so sometimes it always impresses me when someone can put out a game and have it stay under 5 or 6 gigabytes, and you're like, there's so much in this game, and the package is relatively small compared to what everything else is.
That's what she said.
Oh. So when they're coming out with this, it's like, okay, it's 4 gigabytes. 4 gigabytes is it's tiny. That's tiny enough where you install it and you have it on your hard drive and you have no reason to ever get rid of it, because you never think oh, I need to free up space of 4 gigabytes. No, you always need to free up space of 50 gigabytes. That's why I've had hide and shriek on my drive forever, and it's just not leaving, because it's actually, that game has always, it's 3.14 gigabytes, which I always thought had tiny. To be on purpose.
Oh, 3.14.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 3.14 apple pie.
Yeah. Like it's always been exactly 3.14 gigabytes, and I'm like, that is that on purpose? It feels like it's on purpose. They're like, we could add more to it, but it would ruin that. So I'm always impressed when they're capable of doing that, because it feels like an homage to when that was like the standard. On average, how long will one game last? Does it depend on the faction you have chosen? They say depending on your strategy and the chosen difficulty. For a newer player, games can generally last up to 2 to 3 hours. That being said, with much of our community now fully familiar with the game, we've seen this go as low as 30 to 45 minutes. How many houses are available to play? Upon release, there will be 6 factions available to play, with House Atreides, House Harkonnen, House Carino, the Freeman, the Strugglers, and the new addition for 1.0, House Ekaz? I don't know how to pronounce that. Rounding out the roster. Each faction has their own playstyles, traits, strengths, and weaknesses, lending a unique flavor to each match based on which faction you choose. Is there a campaign? The game features Conquest Mode, which acts as a campaign for Dune Spice Wars. In Conquest, players take up the control of one of the major houses and fight through a number of unique scenarios and situations that will encourage them to utilize every system at their disposal in order to progress. With procedural maps and scenarios, random perks and challenges, famous characters and houses, and a different experience every time you play, Conquest offers unprecedented levels of replayability and immersion into the Dune universe. Is Dune Spice Wars a movie adaptation or a book adaptation? They say Dune Spice Wars is not a direct adaptation of any one singular source. It is our envisioning of this universe and its characters, so certain aspects may differ from how they are portrayed in particular sources. While we try to focus on the books first and foremost, we have drawn inspiration from numerous sources such as the board games, movies, TV shows, and extended Dune universe in the design for the game. Have you taken any inspiration from previous Dune games for this title? They say we've played all the Dune video games, Dune 1 and Dune 2 especially, and all board games as well, so there will be some influence. That said, Dune Spice Wars is very much its own game with a unique take on the struggle for the control of Arrakis. So, nice. They're finally coming out of early access, and I
it's about
still
time.
have yet to really play it.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a while either.
Yeah. But I was sort of waiting for them to have a campaign, because they promised that when it first launched. They're like, we're going to have a campaign mode. We're going to have a campaign mode. So their campaign is basically this conquest mode.
Okay.
So now they got that out and they're releasing with 1.0. Now I can see giving it a real shot.
I mean, that's what I did with was it Conan Unconquered?
Unconquered, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was basically like, what was that campaign like?
It was probably like this. It's just you going through different maps, right? It's just that there's some kind of like narrative that gives you a reason to do the next one.
Yeah. Well, didn't they release like pages of the comic or something?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it might have unlocked some stuff. But I mean, even the map itself, or like the mission, right, had some kind of like, you're going, like you did this, now you're advancing on this territory for whatever reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was some kind of narrative rather than just I'm going to play a map just to play a map, right? Like, although realistically, you're just playing the map to play the map. It's just giving you the barest of like,
excuses
to like if you get the next one, you get the next dot on the map showing that you went forward. But realistically, sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, like sometimes you don't need much. Be like the number goes up.
Fun enough to do, then just giving you a way to see that what you did somehow progressed. Even if it's literally just dots on a map. We won this battle, so we've advanced into this region now. Like, okay, cool.
Which really, when it comes to RTSs and procedural RTSs, sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all like that's all basically like the original Warcraft was they didn't even put real much story into the actual maps themselves. They just sort of had like a scroll at the beginning of being like, hey, here's what you're gonna do. And
the very first Warcraft, I played like the demo for like a few minutes.
Okay.
Could figure it out, and then left, uninstalled. Had nothing to do with it for like 2 years. I had never run across a game that had like Fog of War before.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, why is everything pitch black? And I walked a few spaces, and then something killed me. And I was like, this is fucking stupid. And I was out.
Done.
Like, I had no frame of reference for that style of game and like what you needed to do.
Yeah.
And I was just completely like, what the fuck is this? And so I think a couple years later, and I had played like Command and Conquer by then or something. Like I had a little more familiarity with the style of game. And then I came back and I played the shit out of Warcraft and Warcraft 2 and StarCraft and all that shit. But I still remember my very first experience was the lone little dude in this pitch black with this patch of grass under him. And I walked a few steps and then something just killed me that I walked into. I never even built like the first little farm or anything.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, nothing. I just died in the darkness. And this is annoying as fuck. I'm out. Done.
And right, and then as soon as they died, like the darkness just came and like swept them back over again.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, like I just hadn't ever played a game of a similar style. So
yeah.
I didn't understand like the Fog of War concept where like you have to explore to like uncover the map. And then you need to do it carefully at first and not just wander off in a direction.
Not just take your collectors and just shove them into whatever.
Bro, I didn't even have I had one guy. One guy, and then just like insta died.
And that game was hard too. Like, well, maybe not so much the base game. I remember like that was in the time when expansions were like actually very difficult.
Yeah.
So I remember, I think it was the Warcraft 2
more,
expansion.
It means you want it to be harder. That's how that was translated.
They're like, oh, you want extra levels? Here you go. And they like beat the crap out of you in those levels. But beating them felt so good.
Well, I think the assumption was not that you wanted more of the same. It was like, oh, that wasn't hard enough for you.
Yeah.
If you want more, you must want hard. It's not just that you wanted more. The thought process was if you beat all those, that must have been too easy, right?
It was like because even in the beginning of the game, they went up in difficulty. So we're like, oh, so if you want more levels above our hardest difficulty, the hardest map, well, we can give you just keep going up. Yeah. What game did I play? I think Wing Commander. I think I played the original Wing Commander, and like those were pretty tricky missions to begin with because you were working with a very very basic system of flight, but also like so the difficulty there was just sort of maneuvering the actual mechanics of the game itself. But then the expansion was just like, nope, we're just gonna beat the crap out of you. And I tried playing like the first couple missions of the expansion, and it was after like my 30th or 40th attempt to beat like the third mission of the expansion. I was like, nope, I'm done. Like I tried. That's a lot. I tried.
Never give up. Never surrender.
I was like, I'm just not good enough.
I grabbed Thor's hammer.
Did you use the console? I don't know. Did you use the console?
I was like, what do you mean by console in this instance? Because I believe it was released on Nintendo.
Maybe you just need to be consoled.
Did I use the right? Did I use the console?
Like I just needed someone to console me after.
That's right. After somebody come over and be like, "You tried, man. You tried.
It's all right.
Get some Ted Lasso up in here. Someone to be like, you tried, but you could do better. Come on, you could do better." I'm like, all right, let's do it.
You're all, nope, I was right the first time.
That's right. Right, 50 tries later, and I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm out of practice. I'd have to restart the game from the beginning to even get myself back into practice. He's like, you're right. I'll just move on to Wing Commander 2. There's like 7 Wing Commanders. It's fine.
Hey, Sharky.
Howdy.
Hey.
Hello there. You also forgot Ocho.
I'm here.
Guy in the top. He's the top.
Shauki
top
94.
square.
Welcome. welcome to the show. Well, you two are really the only ones streaming right now.
I'm not streaming.
So
Well,
this is the only streaming I'm doing right now. Wing Commander 2, I think you mispronounced Privateer. I love Privateer. Privateer is an excellent game.
That's funny.
Privateer is basically like what Star Citizen is essentially modeled after.
What are we talking about? We derailed horribly.
Of course,
as we
do.
usually do. Yeah, we're very consistent in that.
Like I haven't. I should really go back to it, but I beat Privateer, and I'm still working through the Privateer expansion. The Privateer is excellent. It's like what's the game? Elite Dangerous. It's like Elite Dangerous, but Elite Dangerous basically you either focus on combat or you focus on like trading. And Wing Commander Privateer, you basically do both simultaneously. And it's like that's a lot more fun actually. You're like, I can trade and beat up a whole bunch of other ships simultaneously.
It's like, where do I sign up?
Talking of derailing, 300 hours on BG3.
Wait, hold on.
Baldur's Gate.
There you go.
Let me check.
My free time.
Let me check my hours.
Are you playing it too?
This is why I'm not sleeping, because I'm doing this run and
Baldur's Gate.
I'm at 183 hours in Baldur's Gate 3.
Nice, dude. Yeah, no, it's great. It's awesome. It's one of the games that I'm actively avoiding watching people play.
I'm actually on my second playthrough.
Okay.
That's how it was when the early access of Starfield was released on the first. I'm like, I'm not watching anything. I'm not watching any streams.
Nope.
I'm like a media blackout.
I find myself like that's the way I handle most games. That it's sort of like I want to play it in the future, or I want to play it like I don't own BG3 yet, or I don't own Starfield yet. But it's like I want to play it in the future, and I don't want to be spoiled about anything about it. Mm-hmm. So I'm like I'm avoiding streams of people playing it.
There is a really cool video that you should see though.
Okay.
It's not really spoilery. But
okay.
It's four halflings just doing crazy bullshit.
I think I've heard of that.
Crazy bullshit. Throwing each other across, like throwing each other as weapons at enemies, throwing enemies at enemies.
What is it, like 4 halfling barbarians or something?
Mm-hmm. And they're just like they can end
improvised
with the
weapon
explosion I've ever seen. It must have melted someone's goddamn computer.
Fantastic.
But yeah, it's just them doing like really dumb like shit. It's really funny. And nothing in it's like really like story spoiler. I try to combine those two words together and it doesn't work. Stoilery.
Stoilery.
Yeah, it's not spoilery.
Add that to the vocabulary.
I'm just trying to be more efficient with my time. See, I'm just compound the words.
Spory.
Oh, with the Starfield, it's like I've also been playing No Man's Sky.
Okay,
that's been a fun
No Man's
adventure.
Sky. I like No Man's Sky too, but No Man's Sky actually, and I just learned this recently. No Man's Sky does have sort of like it has a secret world vibe to it. In a way, it's very much a like cosmic horror sort of situation going on in No Man's Sky. And I found this out. Before No Man's Sky launched, they had an ARG, just like Secret World has had, done by Allison Smith. The same people who have done ARGs for Secret World. And the ARG for No Man's Sky was essentially like how it like started on Earth as basically a giant simulation. And it was like basically these AI simulations, and it was supposed to be like a simulated universe. And so that's how basically the story of or the ARG for No Man's Sky started as, done by Allison Smith. So it's like, oh, okay, sort of a tie there.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, I like No Man's Sky a lot. Are you playing through the Expedition?
No, I just started back when my character has been like, because I just really got started in it.
Okay.
I think about a year or two ago, and it's just dropped off, and then now I'm getting back into it again.
Well, let me tell you, expeditions are basically their way of allowing new characters to really come in and get like a whole bunch of stuff from a more directed level of play through the game.
Okay.
And then once you finish the expedition, then you start getting all like the main quests and whatnot, like the normal game does.
Yeah.
So if you haven't played in a long time, it's actually good to start an expedition with a new character.
Okay, I'll definitely look into that because I was trying to do this one mission, trying to get this mineral. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to get it? Because he's like, oh, you need a mineral extractor, or whatever it's called. I'm like, where the hell is that? I'm looking online. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's easy. It's like you should have got it in like the first minute of playing. I'm like, well, okay.
You're like, come on now. Yeah.
I was like, oh, there it is. This actually, I did have it.
Was it in your daily login rewards? Maybe.
No, it's in my inventory.
Boom. Got him.
Got him.
What is
You
this?
didn't get your daily drop?
Dailies. What?
No,
you
No Man's Sky
talking
doesn't
about?
have daily drops. You could do like you could send like your freighters out to get stuff for you, and those are like 8-hour missions or so. But
Yeah.
that's about the closest thing they got.
But I'm actually having a lot of fun because the difference. I miss like the traveling aspect of No Man's Sky in Starfield.
Okay.
It's not the same. It's a Bethesda game
It's
because
not.
it's instanced. Like you can't go from like orbit down to planet surface. Say okay, land here, then it's a cutscene, and then that's it.
It's sort of in No Man's Sky. It actually is sort of instanced in a way. They just
Yeah.
make the transitions
It's very
really smooth.
Yeah.
Really smooth.
Now I can't say too much about Starfield because I've only played about 2.5 hours of it
Okay.
with
I mean,
crashes.
I've heard relatively good things. I've heard
2.5
relatively good things about
hours.
Starfield.
Dead game.
Well, it is for me. I can't. The only way I can play it is streaming it through the Edge, like the Game Pass streaming. That's the only way I can play it. I have it on my system and it crashes like after 10, 15 minutes. And it's totally random. I'll be like walking, all of a sudden it says freezes up, crash the desktop.
Mm.
All right, start it back up. Have to go back from where my last save point is. Do it again. Crash after 10, 15 minutes.
Right, and I commented. I was like, "What? A Bethesda game having
I know, right?
bugs? What?"
And I was streaming it last night. I'm like, oh, this first time getting into it. I can actually play for a couple hours. I was like 3, maybe 4 hours. Hour and a half into the stream, I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this because at the last crash was like a complete system crash.
Mm,
I'm like,
that's rough.
I can't do this anymore because I'm getting pissed off. I'm like, this is just sucking the joy out of the game. Over a year wanting to play this. I'm like, damn it.
Say, well, I would say hopefully they fix it, but simultaneously, there are still bugs in every Bethesda game.
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim came out like what 12 years ago, and there are still bugs in that. They're like, nope, we don't care. We'll let the community create.
The horse
patches.
punching is amazing in that game.
What's that?
I said the horse punching is amazing in that game.
That's right.
Well,
You just have to,
last year I had the same issue. We're playing Fallout 76.
Punching horses.
Well, no,
punching horses.
just crashing to desktop or crashing the system. I'm like, well, it was like, it felt like it pretty much. I have to wait a year when I start a game and then when I can actually enjoy it.
So we see you hanging out on the other side of a Garth over there, Freeborn. I see you.
Nope, you don't see me. I'm nowhere to be found.
Nope, you're running upstairs.
You're
Shit.
right.
Hold down.
Can't see him. He's hiding.
Completely invisible.
So no, I hope you get that figured out so you can actually play it, because again, it also looks cool. Xiaoke says, not all that interested in Starfield. Only space game I go all in on is EVE Online, and that's a Second Life in itself. Oh gosh, yes. I've heard lots of stuff about EVE Online. Not one that I've tried, because it's
I've tried that too. Yeah, it's
I've heard
exactly, Jimmy.
in space is accurate.
It is. It's spreadsheets in space.
But see, I don't mind spreadsheets, so that actually is sort of a draw for me. I don't actually mind that so much. but it's still weird that I haven't given it too much of a shot. I think it's all the stories of like corporate backstabbing and the fact that they basically have a currency that's tied to real money. So when you say like, like, oh well, they stole how many millions of credits, that they could actually translate that to real dollar figures. So it ends up with a lot of good headlines and a lot of good. EVE Online is less video game and more spreadsheet simulator.
Jimmy, where the hell did you go? You are like disappeared.
He's on like a 10-second delay from you.
No, I haven't moved. I'm right there.
I know, but I can't see you.
What?
Yeah, you're like completely gone. I know you're there.
Wait,
you see me on the floor? Maybe.
Let me see if I can.
I see you're on the floor.
Yeah, you're on the floor.
There you go.
I placed you sitting on the bank, sitting in between the the auctioneers over here? Yeah, the auctioneers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my guess.
But yeah, it's Starfield. I was playing it a little bit for like a good hour or two this morning to see if I can play it on the streaming side of things.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, this working. It's doable. I mean, it's not as pretty as it would be if it was locally installed, but it's doable. No crashes. So
okay.
I'm actually having fun with it. I'm starting to get back into it. I'm like, okay, I can do this now.
Yeah. And that'll be another game that I pick up eventually.
Yeah, I just uninstalled it from my system. I'm like, screw it. It's just taking up space. I'm not going to play it.
Because I know if they do the same thing that they did with Skyrim, basically, that it's going to basically be like 10 years from now, they'll have like the extended edition with this and with that and with this expansion and that expansion. So I'm like, I'll give it a little bit of time before I pick up Starfield. It's okay. Plus, I need to put like my new system together anyway.
Oh, so to answer Chucky's question about the horse punching, is because there's a glitch in the Skyrim for speedrunning where like you like punch a horse and then you tilt it on a rock and it shoots you into the sky, and then you come crashing down. You have to like try and land in water, and your speed is set to like somehow that sets your speed to like times 5 billion, and you can like punch a guard to death in like a half second with your bare fists because that's how fast your character's going.
What did they just give us? Mirages. Ooh, itty bitty rainbows. Yeah. So the whole tied to real world currency is mostly because you could buy the premium currency from other players using in-game money. Yes, same as Secret World. Same as I believe Warcraft has that now too. Any cryptic game has that also. So yeah, but EVE Online was like one of the first ones to do it, I believe. I'm pretty sure they were one of the first. If I do want to seriously give EVE a try, that is a
Really
I feel like
yeah,
that's a big if at this point. I feel like if I would have wanted to really give EVE Online a try, I would have already done so by now, to be honest. But thank you for the offer, for the referral link. Starting off with 1 million skill points, it's about 25 in real life days worth of skill training. Well, that's not bad. That's a nice boost. EVE has it. Secret World has it. Guild Wars 2 has it. There's a gold to store points in Guild Wars 2. WoW has WoW tokens. RuneScape allows bond purchases. Yeah, it's fairly common, which isn't really a bad thing. I think when they started coming out with them, there was a lot of doom and gloom over it, but I don't know.
I think a lot of issues were gold sellers selling stolen accounts and hacked accounts and stuff like that.
Yeah, but see, that
Especially
was
in
actually
WoW.
happening anyway. Like, and then that was more of a people were then buying the gold on like non-legit sites, like gold farming and gold whatever.
Yeah, then
gold
they get their
selling
accounts
sites.
taken too. And it's like, oh, well, you shouldn't
Yeah.
have done that.
So it was basically game's way of enticing players to be like, if you're going to buy gold, do it in-game. We're going to give you a path so you can do that, so you don't have to go to these other sites to do it. They're like, we know you're doing it anyway.
I remember when Secret World Legends first came out, and we did have gold sellers coming in.
Gold seller. That's how you knew we made it.
That's right. Yeah.
For like a good couple months, just a random
back when we had gold
tells.
Pack sellers. So that was it was a way to combat that black market basically of gold spam and whatnot. I don't know exactly how successful it was in that endeavor, but it tried.
You got. It's like, you tried. Hang in there.
Yeah.
You might make it one day.
Because it was something like at the height of it,
Damn it!
like it was surprising. It was really surprising, like how much people were actually buying and how many people bought gold from gold selling sites.
Yeah, it's still surprising that people still do it today.
Yeah.
Like, you know how easy it is to get this stuff, right? Just put it in the work. Oh, I don't want to do the work. I want it this instant now. Give it to me.
Yeah, but that's why
Okay.
they don't want to put in the work for the game because they already put in the work for the money. So
say, all right, go ahead, get yourself screwed out of your credit card or whatnot.
yeah, if they already worked for the money for in-game item trade, it really is not that. It's very easy for people to justify of themselves, essentially. But they're putting their information, they're putting their real information at risk, which is that's the part where it's like, if players are going to do this, let's just give them a path. Let's just give them a path to do it. Let's make Aurum a thing. Mm-hmm. Let's make Guild Wars 2 gems a thing. Let's make WoW tokens a thing. I forget what it's called in EVE Online though, but yeah.
ISK.
Yes, or that's what the credits are called. ISK. Yeah. Something like that. Farmer says, WoW tokens are traded for game time specifically, unless they changed it to let you convert it to BattleNet bucks. Oh gosh, BattleNet bucks?
Ooh. That's that was a memo that should have been, or a meeting, or that should have been an email.
They could have worked on that name, yeah.
How about we workshop it a little bit longer than 5 minutes?
Yeah. What do we call it? How about BattleNet bucks?
All right, George, you got it.
Yeah, can we choose something else? Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone? No.
Farmer, stop typing in the goddamn chat when you're in the dungeon.
Secretly, we're just gonna make Vommer just keep talking to us to see if we can mess up the dungeon run.
That's a bold move, Cotton. See if it works out.
You don't recall what it's actually called? Oh, that's not what it's actually called? Oh, okay. They called it bucks for alliteration. It works. Some people speculated it stands for Interstellar Credits of ISK. The CCP have never actually confirmed or denied anything. Oh, it makes me. Oh, what does that remind me of? It's like Wi-Fi. I think it reminds me of Wi-Fi, because if you ask people, they're like, what does Wi-Fi stand for? Like, we know what it is, but what does it stand for? What does Wi-Fi stand for? And I think they said, like, a lot of people will turn around and say, oh, it stands for like wireless fidelity or something like that. That doesn't necessarily make any sense, because
it's like
fidelity is like a
internet
level of quality, and when it comes down to it,
interface.
It doesn't mean anything. They didn't make it to actually stand for anything. They just called it it was just like a marketing name. They're like, we're just going to call it the Wi-Fi.
You know what it stands for? It says,
I mean, I think the basis is still wireless, right?
The basis is still wireless, yes, but the Fi part actually doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Maybe it's like science fiction, like sci-fi. Maybe it's just wireless fiction. Wi-Fi.
Yeah. It could have been, yeah. Could have been they just took it from, like, yeah, you've heard of sci-fi. Well, this is futuristic. It's Wi-Fi. Very much. I'd believe that. Yeah. But yeah, WoW tokens you buy with real money, selling game for gold or buy for gold, convert to game time. I don't know if they let you redeem it for BattleNet-wide money or not. Even when I played, I never had enough gold for a token. I don't know. I think maybe you could have at one point. I think I remember someone being like, oh, I earned enough to buy like an expansion, or to buy I earned enough to buy another product or something like that. So maybe you can. I don't know. Another one I'm not up on is my Blizzard knowledge. That I would allow for you two to better know.
Well, it depends on what Blizzard game. Like Overwatch, I'm okay with.
Both of you play Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, well, I do understand why people frown on it. As someone from a third world country, I also understand why people sell it. Oh yeah. No, there's a reason why it makes money.
Yeah, there's
like Indonesia, Philippines, Venezuela. It is an income for outstripping anything they can get doing a regular job in their own country. That's very true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very true thing. That's why they do it. It's their job. And if their job can basically be, farming in a video game, essentially, and finding like
beats
the best
farming in
places
real
to do
life.
it. Yeah, the best places to do it. Multi-boxing, doing what they can to basically eke out as much gold per minute, essentially, and then selling that gold for real money. Yeah, it's a way to make money. That's why it became so big a thing. That's why you saw gold sellers everywhere. It's profitable. For example, I have a decent job. In fact, in my country, I'm considered upper middle class. Nice. Yet I can't afford buying 2 AAA video games in a 6-month span. Also understandable.
You know what? A lot of people in this country can't do that either.
They can't do it, but they still do it anyway.
It's called credit cards. It's like
Yeah.
it's free real estate. It's free money.
It's free real estate.
That's future you's problem.
Right. I'm going to put this on a credit card, and that'll be paid off over time.
Yeah.
I bought BG3. I really want to get Rune Factory 3 special, but I simply don't have the spare funds for it. Hey, I mean, that's fine. Like I'm not one to buy new games when they come out specifically. I'm not a giant. Like I won't rush out to buy, especially like $60 price tag games, because I also know that they will
60?
come down in price.
They're
They
like
will.
70 now. Jesus.
Yeah, $70. Yeah. But they will come down in price. So essentially what you end up paying for when a game is first out is to be part of the zeitgeist for it, to be part of like the conversation around the games, to be part of the first people to go in and really play it. And you sort of pay a premium price tag for that, honestly. So, and it's fine. Like a lot of these game companies wouldn't exist without those people paying for the practice of doing so. So it's not like it's a bad thing necessarily. It's just sort of how it works. And then as new games come out to basically replace those games, because right, this year we've seen Baldur's Gate 3, we're seeing Starfield now, and I'm sure by the end of the year we'll probably see a couple other games come out. And just as each new one comes out, the people want to play that game. They want to be talking about that game. They want to be a part of that conversation. And if you're not playing it, you kind of have to sit on the sidelines, which, hey, it is what it is. So that's why it's like, right, without those people, gaming industry wouldn't really exist as it is today. So it's a fine thing. But right, as new games come out, those old games, they still want to make money from them. And how do they make money from them? They start putting them in a discount. They start dropping them on like the Steam Winter Sale and the this sale and that sale, and they start showing up in they start making deals to have like Game Pass or stuff like this, and they start doing stuff like that. It's fine. It's that this is the industry. This is the industry.
Because
however you participate in the industry, you still participate in it.
Yeah, because I can justify my spending the Game Pass Ultimate amount per month.
Mm-hmm.
as I can play these AAA titles day one without spending $70 right then and there. I was like, what, $15, $20 a month? I can play as many games as I want in that one month.
Yep.
So to me, I was like, I can play the cost of one or no. Yeah, a couple. I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah, it's basically it works out in my favor to play these big games through the Game Pass. Yeah, if I stop paying per month, I'll lose access. But I'm like, I can do that.
But sometimes like if you think a game is like $60, $70, then if you spend less than 3 months playing it, you've essentially, and you end up like completing it, or as much to as you want to do, then you've basically won out essentially.
Yeah.
Or
it's like, you can spend $20, play the game, and realize that your system can't handle it, instead of I'm out $70. I have to go through the refund process if I can.
Which is basically taking the MMO the subscription
model,
and basically extending that to not just the MMO, but to a whole bunch of games, to a whole bunch of servers. Excuse me, like a nose thing going on. Sorry about that. But no, too much crack cocaine. It happens.
But it's within the past year or two that these games have gone from it's only $50 to it's only $60. Oh no, it's only $70 now. and they're
Which
all
was
digital
actually
games.
like it was bound to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
It really was.
it's
They couldn't have
we've
kept
had it
up the
subsidized for like decades. It was just
yeah.
the $50 mark was like the high end.
Yeah, they stayed at 60 for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was only and they tried saying they're like, oh, we're gonna be 60, but then we'll release DLC packs, and then we'll release this and release that. So over time you would spend like 90 something, on the full game. So instead of giving you the full game at the start, they started giving you the $60 as a base game, and then
I mean,
we
the
have
one
like
thing I will not be
this
doing
DLC
is
and that
doing any
DLC.
pre-order buying because it's been so many times been burned. I've seen all these games that pre-order and it gets like, and then it's just
House.
they get crap.
You got Penthouse? Nice.
I'm excited. You can only start getting an E11, so it's nice to get Penthouse Dungeon.
Nice. Is it randomized? You pick it by random? That's okay. It's okay. I can't afford BG3 right now. If I want to try it, yeah. Like I can, but literally the last game that I spent a full $60 on was No Man's Sky.
Oh, you should have waited because I think I got my copy on Epic
right?
Game
And
Store.
now I'm like, I love No Man's Sky. I think No Man's Sky is a great game. Now,
Yeah.
when it launched, it was terrible. It was amazingly bad at launch.
Well, it was the same thing with like Fallout 76. It was like a $40 or $50 game. It's like I bought it on Amazon for $5.
Yeah, like it was famously bad at launch, and I was like, it was one game that I was so hyped for, I was so excited for, and it was terrible. And I'm like, I am never spending $60 on a new game again.
And we saw it recently with was it Redfall?
Yeah, right. Redfall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you played that? You played Redfall.
Yeah, I played it that one day.
It had very like Secret Worldish sort of vibes to it.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's like after a stream and I was playing a little bit more, I'm like, yeah, I can see where people were, but it's like just to come out and like dogging on it from the start. It's like just understand what it is. It's a rush game, and it shouldn't have been as much as they were asking for. True, but it should have been a lot cheaper. But it was wholly like mismanaged from the start, pretty much.
Yeah. And it's like you don't want to come down on the games too much, right? Because it's like there are going to be people out there who are like, no, this game was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Well, it's like especially doing like because I do a lot of indie game reviews, so it's like I don't want to be like the person like, oh, this game sucks because it's absolute garbage. It's like no, I want to give like constructive criticism, like, well, this is probably what they were going for, but I understand how like the industry is and how it works is that the developers don't make the decisions. They're at the whims of the executives. The executives just push through. It's like, oh, you gotta have this done by next week. Well, it's going to take us 2 months to do. No, you got till next week. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, I think Redfall was not the normal situation.
No, it was like, you can tell it was rushed. There's a lot of things that were broken.
From what I understand, it wasn't just rushed. Like that was a team being forced to make something they didn't even want to make.
Yeah, and there's also
it wasn't the normal like
CEO left too. Then or somebody.
Yeah,
left.
what I'm saying is like they were.
Thanks for stopping by, Showcase.
They didn't want to make what they got contracted to make.
Have a good one.
So it's not the normal thing where it's like developers are trying to do something and they're being like, crunched or whatever. Like they didn't even want to be doing what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was another problem.
Sort of like we have to we don't have that much in the pipeline, so you have to make something.
I've never seen a game where like what's his face from Xbox comes out and apologizes for existing. Like
Papa Phil or Phil Spencer.
Yeah, like that's do you understand like how crazy that is?
Yeah.
That is so bad. Because I've looked into that. I watched a bunch of stuff on that for a little while. Like the story of how and why that game is so bad is not the normal like big corpo like fuck the developers. That was a multi-layered thing.
Because I'm sure you even seen it in Funcom, where they came up with a game, where they start making a game, or they start on the the concept, and they start actually getting into making the game itself, and then that game will never actually see the light of day. Like,
yeah,
that happens a lot. Or by the end, it's changed to something completely different.
Well, I mean, this is part of TSW's problems were literally development. Like the game designer and system designer didn't like each other and didn't talk to each other. That is one of the major reasons why TSW has some of the problems that it has fundamentally.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing from the onset. We have the designer.
No, that's really bad.
You want those two groups,
bad.
those two people to talk to each other and be like, okay, we can work together. We may not like each other personally, but we can work together.
Yeah, they literally just didn't talk. So the designer's like, I'm gonna have the game do this. Systems guy's like, yeah, none of that shit's gonna work, but okay, whatever.
Yeah,
you do you,
like, that's how you get
Good
the
luck with
performance problems and a whole system designed around shit that it couldn't handle properly.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But it's like, yeah, we see a lot of executive mismanagement, especially with like Overwatch. Jesus,
that one's much more clearly like upper management just fucking.
That's the sea level on Bobby Dickless Kotick.
Yeah, that's much more clear.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's much more obvious.
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, you don't.
But what is it? Overwatch started as something else. It started as
it was supposed to be an MMO.
It was supposed to be an MMO. It was supposed to be like a Blizzard shooter MMO, and eventually they scrapped that and turned it into the arena team shooter that it was.
Yeah, because they like, this MMO is going to cost. It's going to be way too much work and too much money, and say let's scrap it. So then I said, look like the team shooter is starting to come up. Oh, we got all these assets. Let's use them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like shoehorned in.
Yeah.
Well, that was actually the problem with Overwatch 2, is they were going like that was some of the devs trying to go back that direction.
Oh, with the PvE stuff. Oh, that was that was like a whole big disappointment.
Realistically, is what they were doing. Is they were essentially trying
to make it more PvE. They're trying to add
in the first place, and it's just too big. It's just also, this is a really interesting thing that I heard about that, is that it wasn't the biggest problem with it was that it wasn't fun.
Yeah,
and that's a weird problem to have in a game. You spend all this time on all these assets and like story missions, and then people are just like, yeah, this isn't fun to play.
Yeah, especially when how do you
fix that?
When you have games like Destiny, Division,
yeah,
when you have other shooters that are by all metrics really successful,
and it has compelling PvE aspect to it. That also
has that Blizzard art style to it, and
But I did pay. I think it was like the $40 that included the $15 PvE missions, the 3 of them. That was like a good hour and a half.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that took an hour and a half.
Yeah. It's much more if you do it on Legendary. I watched some of the Legendary videos.
Oh, those because it just turns everything into like bullet sponges.
It's not just bullet sponges.
Yeah, it's the AI. It's pretty much the same. It's like, this group is going to come up here, just try to get. But it's like it is a bullet sponge where all of a sudden it starts compounding and where you have to clear.
But it forces you to pick specific comps.
Yeah.
And execute. You know what I'm saying? Like it actually forces you to play as opposed to just sort of wander around and mindlessly kill shit. And look, we advanced the mission. Like from watching the kind of high end guys that did took them 2 days straight or something to get the legendary cleared.
Watch J3 flats.
You can tell okay, that actually can eat up some time for one, assuming you can even clear it. But also they were they were talking about like genuinely enjoying it because it was testing. It's making you flex, right? Like you have to do things right. You have to come up with a solution to like deal with the fact that you're just getting overwhelmed with shit. How are we going to deal with this? So
Right.
I can definitely see that as like the problem is most people that buy that content aren't doing that.
No.
Right? Like, and also probably don't want to.
No, it's like,
they're
I didn't want
probably
to.
just going through on
They're like, I just wanted to jump in for 10 minutes and play.
I just wanted to see the story. Like, what? Okay, this is like 3 years of work, and it's like, well, we saw the first story with the Brazil one, like back in 2018, 2019. Actually, that's what they.
I didn't have any problem with those missions. I thought they were pretty fun.
Like no, I didn't. I didn't have any issue. I thoroughly enjoyed my time. But the problem is like this is not worth $15.
Well, but okay. The problem is it wasn't $15. You had to spend $15 to get it, but it wasn't $15.
No,
it was
that's
like
the thing. Is like
$5.
Well,
right?
They charge you. No, they charge you 15. Right. No, I'm sorry. No, they charge you $10.
$10 a coin to buy the battle pass with.
Well, the bundle was like the previous one was $30. So technically, it could have been. You could say it'd be $10 that they charge you for it, because they bumped the price up to $40.
No, you can't retro price thing. That's not how that works.
No, the bundle. So you get the battle pass, you get the 20 levels, and you get the credits, and then the skins and stuff that come with that as well. Then they tack on the PvE missions for an extra $10 to bump up the bundle price to $40.
No, you're getting other shit in there.
But like, wasn't that the same problem that Secret World had? Was essentially they would release content and people wouldn't buy it, but people were using other methods besides cash to pay for it, and so they would put out DLC, and they just would not make the return on investment for it.
Yeah, that was Joel mentioned that several times in many interviews, that we may spend all this time and money making these DLCs that were very interesting and actually moved the story forward in a lot of ways, or added to the lore of the universe, and it's just no one bought it.
Yep.
And they're like they weren't expensive. They're what, $20?
Yeah, I never found them to be that bad.
Yeah,
I loved buying the, and this is one of the things we talk about occasionally, where like, you know, they went away and they were a great idea. Are what those the party bags?
Party bags, yeah.
Yeah, those. If you had those now, Funcom can be making money if they have that system in place or something similar.
Great idea.
The only issue with them, realistically, is they would have to. My solution for this would be, you would need, like, you know, we have like a mission items bag, right? That doesn't count towards your inventory. You would need like a party bag window that doesn't count as part of your space.
Yeah.
Because the problem with, like, I don't know if you remember like TSW, but you always had to have like 40 slots free to even do party bags.
Yeah.
Right. And that amount of inventory like is specifically designed to like not happen.
There is a party bag in Secret World. There is, yeah.
There's not. It's not.
It's It's not the same concept.
It's not.
It's not the. Yeah.
It's a desiccated husk.
It's not a party bag. It functions similarly to a party bag, but it's not a party bag.
No, but that system.
I have all the dances that I do.
Yeah. But the system was great because you saw so many people with party bags, and you know that Funcom was getting money for people buying bundles of that stuff, especially doing the group one. There's like a big
right when they're like, if you open
in Agartha,
if you open a certain amount and like enough people get it, then you get something extra. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
What a great way to just get all the stuff. Is right.
It functions like a party bag, but it's like there's not good shit in it. You just get flooded with crap. Which, granted, you got flooded with crap with the normal party bag, but you could actually get good things. There's nothing good to get. It's like a.
Is that what led to the was it the silver necklace fiasco.
It's
all those
not
years
that
ago?
I don't consider good. It's objectively not good. It's not shit you can sell. It's not shit you can put on an auction house for like, 100,000 moth or something. It does.
Well, you could.
It might use similar mechanics, but it does not
Yeah.
do the same thing for the economy that a party bag did. Which is
Right.
what we're talking about. Is the economic
But
impact.
mechanically, it acted the same way.
Mechanically, yeah, you open it and it gives shit to people around you. Sure. But it's not.
But it's not stuff that actually stuff you could turn around and sell.
It's
stuff
like
you could turn around and trade,
cosmetics,
stuff you could turn around and
dances
Yeah,
and
it's not
stuff
like
like
you
that.
basically
like-
promote the game economy. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not like you open 10 of those and like, you get like a mythic special fucking heart you can ride or something that everyone wants and like sells for a shit ton. Like there's nothing in there that affects the
The more the
economy
meta
at
game.
all.
Yeah.
See, I look at it as like that was like the beginning of something that could be very similar to what they have over in like SWOTOR. Is you can buy these I forget the exact terms, but you can spend like $30 real world money and get crates.
Fuck. That was an accident. I just killed somebody.
But you can get these crates that if you don't like the stuff that you like in it, or you can sell the crate itself on the auction market for hundreds of thousands or even millions or even billions of credits. And the economy is like constantly being rotated out because they still do a lot of cosmetic work coming in for even what it's 10 plus year
How
old
old
game. Yeah.
SWTOR, yeah.
And hell, look at you, Champions Online. Just this past week, again, they were giving out freeform slots.
Oh, were they? I missed that one.
Yeah,
so
so I
it's their
popped
anniversary.
in. Yeah, so I popped in, and it's actually people were playing the game. And the game is 14 freaking years old.
SWTOR came out in 2011, so SWTOR is December 20th, 2011. So they are currently 11 years old?
Yeah, 11.
Turning 12 in December.
Well, you still got these two games that are, I know,
Over
one
a
is-
decade.
Yeah, over a decade of games that are still doing a lot for
Hey, Astrid.
their players.
Mhm.
That unfortunately we're not getting what the potential was there, but executive mismanagement. I don't know exactly what went on, but we lost out on that.
Yeah.
And it's an unfortunate model that a lot of Funcom games are doing it that way, but it's their decisions, and we just gotta know. We might not be happy with a lot of decisions, but we still like the game and the community aspect in it.
We still like the game. We still like the community. We
Yeah.
still want to promote all of that.
I mean, I can be harsh. We can be harsh, but don't go say, "Oh, it's a dead game," because it's not a dead game. Obviously,
Right.
we got people here still playing the game. Many more play the game. So, if you say it's a dead game, you're wrong, and you should feel bad.
You should feel bad.
You're wrong, and you should feel bad. What? Come here.
My rant for tonight.
Come here. Come here. I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna pick you up.
It's another kitty.
Dude, I mean, what the fuck is... I have all weapon distillates. Fucking game, man.
And you're not
If
using them
I-
anymore.
If I
Is there-
can't have a party in my shower of treasure from a bag, it's not a party bag. I don't care what the mechanic is.
They basically replaced the party bags with
If I can't
loot
fucking
boxes.
Scrooge McDuck in that shit, it's not a party bag. I will die on my Scrooge McDuck hill.
Get a little purr action there. Hey, kitty. She's doing okay. She's not knocking things over right now. She was earlier.
And on my
Dude,
kitty,
anything
the other
fine.
kitty,
Person,
she's sleeping underneath the desk right now.
why is everyone running so far into this dungeon? Like, what?
Leroy Jenkins.
I don't understand.
I met Anima for the second time in my life today. I immediately became emotional. It's hard to describe how much I love Secret World. Aww.
And see there, Astrid there is a perfectly good, and there's plenty of people like Astrid that have that same mindset.
To get that right, because almost Secret World is almost considered nostalgic at this point for many people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what? It still holds up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the graphics are good.
They're getting a
live
little dated now, but they're not. But they're
well,
not like awful.
I
No,
would
by
say
any stretch.
what carries it in that aspect is the mocap is fucking insane,
Yeah,
and the voice acting is really good. I mean, obviously in the writing is fucking
the writing's
unmatched.
phenomenal. Yeah,
Opinion,
yeah,
but
it's like I think we know a guy who was a big part of the writing.
yeah,
we've
some
we've
guy
heard
with
of
a
him.
hat.
Some guy that wears a. He's into vampires.
Oh, EverQuest what? Holy crap!
I mean, it was played
EverQuack.
EverQuest 1 today.
Oof. Like, I don't see that kind of mocap in like brand new games that come out, like an Unreal Engine, whatever, right? Like they just don't have that same level of like realistic body language, like mannerisms.
No,
Especially
Just,
for
I don't know.
MMOs.
Even for non MMO games, they just
I
don't
would say
see
even
that
for like it's like Starfield or this or that. Like
quality of. It's not the quality of the model; it's the quality of the actual like capture of the like body intent, like the body language, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if we go, let's take for the Starfield model, because all your NPCs, it's a Bethesda trope by this point in time with the soulless eyes and pretty much the emotionless face. When you're going through, like they're doing their talky bits, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't think you blinked once." Or is this like when the character gets up out of a chair, gets up, turns, and then it starts with like a walking motion. It's like it's kind of like it's not humans don't do that. They get up and then they start walking. It's not programming.
yeah, I don't know, just like Funcom. Well, I mean, what they made their own mocap studio, so I mean that probably helped, right? Like,
Yeah, even Andy and Nicole even did mocap, didn't they, for some dances?
so like that's probably helps that you're not just offloading it to somewhere else doing like
Mm-hmm.
maybe
not
like
doing,
a less than stellar job or something.
Yes,
but like
emotes, yeah.
You have your own studio,
I'm,
then you could even charge other places to come in and do their own mocap.
yeah, but it's just it actually frustrates me when I play like a newer game and they have like a super detailed model, but just the head is talking and like there's no body language at all. I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? Let me go back and play Secret World where things move around like actual people when they talk.
Yeah. Like Elder Scrolls Online tries that, where they'll have the writing, they'll have the voice acting, and then they just have the model just doing like a whole bunch of different emotes.
Yeah, those lip flaps. Oh, you say that, Volver. I haven't run a new character as a Templar, but at the very beginning, I forget the inspector. I forget her name. Her character model was messed up, especially with her mouth. She was always like had this open, wide, like cringe,
Oh no,
weird mouth structure, and like her teeth were like almost protruding out through her lips. But yeah, it was something where character models can be like funky with the geometry and programming.
Are you looking at the camera?
So every time you do Strange House in the Mist, cutscene doesn't work right. Oh, there's one instance I forget is in SWTOR when you do the that first flashpoint with the new character is Esselis. I forget which one it is, but if you spacebar through the cutscene with the Sith came through, there is one that he has impaled one of your NPCs up on the wall. So if you spacebar through, all of a sudden it gets to a point where the view is the Sith, and in the background, all you see that impaled NPC get flung out, because at that time the cutscene was supposed to be moved along and he was supposed to disappear. You weren't supposed to see it. So this is one of those funny things that you know that when you do, so like it's just all of a sudden in the background you see his body go flying through the air for no stupid reason.
Where are you going? Where are you going? All right, you can get this.
Yeah.
Just be like,
so many bugs. You can't have a game without bugs. They're more like features.
You can't. No, so you just hope that the bugs are not as bad. I mean, there wouldn't be a speed racing. No, that's not the term.
Speed running.
There wouldn't be a what is it called?
I don't know. What are you trying to say?
Speedrunning. There wouldn't be a speedrunning community without good bugs.
Oh yeah, because you can glitch through the environments.
I mean, there would. It'd just be slower.
Yeah, right.
It wouldn't be so speedy.
They'd be playing the entire game, yeah. But I think to go back a little bit, I think Funcom's, I'm not really going to call it an issue. It's just sort of like their operating structure is essentially they put more effort into the games that are making them more money.
Yeah, which is really a problem.
Yeah,
no,
that's not a
good
problem
business
per se. It's just the way business kind of runs.
Yeah.
And that's why people are like, oh, but you see, like, Lord of the Rings from Standing Stone Games is still getting lots of content. Well, yeah, it is. That's their primary game. Like that is the whole studio's bread and butter is that one game. So of course they're going to keep putting effort into it. But for Funcom, it's like they're currently working on. You were sitting so nice on my lap, and now you're trying to knock over my monitor. Stop.
I'm sorry.
Working on Dune. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, working on Dune.
And Exiles is still doing gangbusters for them.
Conan Exiles is still pulling out lots of good stuff. You're making me crazy.
They have a battle pass. That's what we needed. We need a secret world battle pass.
I mean, we had something almost like that with the caches.
The end of TSW. Yeah. The end of TSW had the legacy system, right? Like
you cut it out.
Where like you got rewards every couple of months, but if you like bought the year, you could get all of them at the same time. Like
it was kind of really
similar to like a primitive sort of battle passy kind of system.
It was. And that, I don't know why they stopped doing it. I guess it was just too expensive to keep that up.
It didn't work. I mean, that's why.
Well, I mean, like they could have reiterated on that and looked at other games that had battle pass like systems.
But I mean, that's why. But that was pre-Legends. That's why Legends happened. That was one of their last ditch like monetization attempts. Was that whole system, and it just didn't work. So,
it is what it is. And actually, Conan Exiles, they did not expect Conan Exiles to be as successful.
No, that was one of those just like happy accident kind of things.
Right. And when it started being successful, they were like, oh, you know what we should do? Put most of our effort into Conan Exiles.
Well, yeah, because if you recall, there was like a Mutant Year Zero game.
Well, yeah.
Well, they're the like publisher for that. There was another developer.
No. There was There was like a single player game in the works.
Yes, like a shooter.
And there was also a co-op shooter in the works.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Conan did so well that they just scrapped those and focused on Conan.
So it's like it's. When it's like, oh, all these other games are getting so much work, but why not Secret World? It's like because
y'all didn't spend enough money.
Because the studio has other games they're making money off of.
Because it's your fault. Yes, you.
Yeah, that's right. It's our fault. We didn't spend enough money on it. No, I mean, but there are plenty of still missteps that they did to basically put Secret World into the position of not making as much money as it could. But it is what it is, and because they have other games in their stable that are making money, they aren't putting the effort into figuring out how to fix Secret World. Essentially,
yeah, a lot of people weren't buying Aurum,
but it's also a kind of a downward spiral there. Well, people aren't buying Aurum because they stopped making caches that had stuff in them to buy and to make new cosmetics and this and that, and so. Because
caches should have been party bags.
Caches could have been party bags.
Yeah,
they should have been. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and when you stop making artwork for the game and you start you stop making the cosmetics, you stop making the content that people want to buy, then people aren't going to spend money, and when they don't spend money,
it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
Is it?
It is.
Yes, or
that
is
what it
it?
is?
So yes, so it goes. But we're still here because we like it. We still enjoy it.
I'm just a glutton for punishment. Everyone knows that.
Bit of a masochist. But we also enjoy you, the people, watching us talk about it.
And mostly not in a weird way.
Mostly. We can make it weird.
Consensually.
Hey. I see you.
Hey, how's it going? So, you come here often?
Not sure I like your use of the word come and here.
You know what? I like to cut
okay
your
with
jib.
often.
Making me blush, sir. Speaking of Conan Exiles,
Moving on.
we did have some news about Conan Exiles. Just throwing it out there. They had a little issue. They had a little issue, and needed to roll back Conan Exiles. Which, for most any game that has an online capacity, rolling back is like last-ditch effort sort of stuff. Conan Exiles rolled back the official Exiled Lands servers back to September 1st, and they did this on September 3rd, so they rolled back 2 days. But it was to correct issues relating to incorrect thrall decay timers. So basically, thralls were being killed off very quickly.
Huh.
It said they posted on the forums, the rollback of the official Exiled Land servers was completed yesterday, and the thralls that perished should now be returned to their rightful masters. However, this process came at a cost, and the progress made by Exiles players on official servers over the past 2 days has been effectively wiped. To give everyone a little more context about what happened, we made an error in the server settings early Friday EU time, which did not transpire until the next nightly server restart, subsequently causing unintended consequences over the weekend. Or subsequently, however you want to pronounce it. The settings were corrected and applied to the affected servers on Saturday, September 2nd. At this point, we were already weighing the pros and cons of all the options we had to deal with the impact. Performing a rollback for 780 servers was the preferred option, but it was unclear whether it was technically feasible to do so without taking days to complete or resulting in an extremely long downtime. Therefore, we needed to verify that we could confidently semi-automate this process before officially notifying everyone that the rollback would take place, which delayed our messaging and shortened the notice period. We regret the loss of progress you've experienced, and to help you recover from this setback, we will be boosting the experience gained, gathering speed, and the thrall and pets conversion rate by updating the following server settings later today through next Monday, September 11th. So for the next 4 days from now, harvest amounts, multipliers has been increased, has been doubled on PvE servers, and PvEC servers, which I believe are, I'm not exactly sure what that means. XP rates have been doubled, thrall conversion multipliers have been halved, animal pen crafting time multipliers have been halved, and item conversion, I don't even know what that word is. Conversion has also been halved. To avoid a similar situation in the future, we are adjusting our internal processes. Most importantly, processes? I don't know. Wording, pronunciation. Most importantly, we are instituting more stringent release review processes to help catch errors before deploying updates to the live servers and moving even minor server configuration changes away from Fridays.
That's probably a good idea.
That's it. Having a look at the camera moment, because it's like, really, you're gonna get away from doing stuff on Fridays?
That's just
that
would
never work.
That's a good rule of thumb, is you don't do shit on Friday, because if it breaks, no one's around.
It is a good rule of thumb, and they have broken it many times on Secret World.
Also, it's a
surprise.
It's bad. It's bad for two reasons. Normally, the developers aren't going to be there, and secondly, game players tend to have more time to play on the weekends, so it's like doubly fucked.
Yeah,
but even in non-gaming stuff, like, you don't do shit when you're not going to be there in case something goes wrong the next day. Right? Like,
that's why a lot of stuff happens on Tuesdays, not on Fridays.
No one. Okay, the reason that is no one wants to do anything on Monday because you're catching up from from whatever happened over the weekend.
Yep.
So Monday's catch up. Tuesday is like your like prime release day.
Yeah.
Wednesday's okay. Thursday's really pushing it because that means you have one day to figure out if shit's okay or not. So I've pushed stuff on Thursdays before, but that one's always kind of like, even that one's like a dice throw where you're like, well, it's better than doing it on Friday, but
yeah, it's better than Friday, but it's not as good as if we just wait till next week.
Yeah, that one's always a little bit of a double-edged sword.
See, in my head, I'm just thinking like, we're gonna move this stuff away from Fridays, and it's like, really, you didn't learn that from Secret World? All the times you push stuff out on Fridays for Secret World and stuff messed up over the weekend.
I can say,
like, as a company, you didn't take some lessons from that? No? Okay, all right.
I can say, as someone that does like release programs, right? Like sometimes there's like a need to get something out. You know what I mean? Where you're like,
oh, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
You're like, well, this isn't that big of a deal, and it's going to address a current issue, right? Especially like bug fix stuff. And the problem is, like, a bug fix patch can cause its own bugs. Right?
It can, yeah.
But if there's a really bad thing you're trying to fix, you're like, we want to get this out now.
You do want to get it out, yeah. And
so that's usually where those two things butt heads, is like, it's Friday, but there's already a big problem, and this will fix that problem.
Because they know that Saturday and Sunday will be most game players' time, and they want the bug fixed before.
Yeah. So you're kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't fix the bug before the weekend. Oh, they fixed the bug, but crashed all the servers over the weekend. Well, what do you want?
That's why it's like we talked earlier about the Valentine's bag, and because I remember when that first launched, there was a silver locket or something
that you couldn't delete,
and that was on a Friday.
It was during our show.
Yeah.
It was a Thursday.
Or was it Thursday? It could have been
it went early somehow. It wasn't supposed to be active yet. Yeah, the heart pendant. Leogrim made like new characters just so people could trade him the heart pendant, and then he could delete the character.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so during the show,
night, but it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to launch on a Friday.
Well, I'm sitting here like I forget what was going on, but you guys all of a sudden I'm like, I'm getting stuff in my inventory. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Because all of a sudden I get the red box in front of me. I'm like, what?
Breaking news! Ruining people's inventory is happening right now. Yeah,
everybody's inventories are getting filled.
Yeah, many of those got jettisoned into the Netherverse.
Yeah,
because like Leo was like standing there getting people to trade him the pendants on like a brand new character, and then he was putting them in the bank, and then just like once it was full, just deleting the character and then making another one. Like, it just kept deleting them into the void that way. Because the problem with that is because those stupid things use the quote party bag mechanic, is you can't choose whether to accept those or not.
Right. They just show up.
You know? If you're in a Garth and someone opens that shit, you're just stuck with this shit in your inventory that you can't get rid of. I mean, if you think about that, that's really bad. Like, you can't go run content because you can't pick up anything. Your inventory is full of shit you can't delete that you didn't choose to pick up. That's fucking awful.
It becomes an issue of consent, really.
Yes.
We think you're gonna love this. Here, try this.
I wonder if that could have been fixed by just like a prompt that says, "Hey, do you want to accept this item or not?" Of course, it'd just be like, "No."
Yeah,
but then you got the prompts coming up all the time, though.
Right? Yeah. Then the prompt would show up like every 5 seconds, and that would have been its own apocalypse in a way.
Yeah, that would still have been better though, because you can at least click that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what you're gonna be doing for the rest of the time. Just clicking a prompt that keeps coming up.
You would just move your character at that point, probably. I assume.
But you still got that prompt somewhere on your screen.
Stop. Oh my gosh. You're a terror.
I know, right?
Totally.
What?
It's okay.
My cat is basically trying to attack our stream by reaching around. She's going up on my second monitor and she's reaching around trying to claw characters that she sees moving on the screen. She's insane. This cat is 2 years old. You'd figure she would have calmed down by now, but no. Nope. She's just... she will always be. She's a special one, this cat. I wasn't getting that. I was pushing the monitor back in place. You cat. So they went through that, and so I guess for the next couple of days, you'll get more stuff on the Conan Exile servers. But they also announced that Age of War Chapter 2 is arriving September 21st. Get down. Get down. She says no. She was literally knocking over my monitor. The team has been hard at work on the next big update, and we're thrilled to reveal that Age of War Chapter 2 arrives September 21st. As always, all the game content is free with paid cosmetics available from the Battle Pass and Bazaar. It's bizarre. This update expands significantly upon features we introduced in Chapter 1, experienced revamped purges. That's something I've actually never experienced in Conan Exiles. I think I'm close. From last I played the purge mechanic, but they're already changing it. So
yeah, they've changed that a bunch. It's like now you want purges.
Yeah, now it's fully a opt-in system.
But you want them because that's like how you get loot.
Yeah, it's like I've been playing Fallout New Vegas. Hold on, this cat, man. Excuse me. Could you go? No, could you go? Could you not go? Can you not be behind my monitors? Could you move, please? Could you? There she goes. Okay. Oh my gosh. Get a cat, they said. It's cute, they said.
Well, they are cute.
She is. She's adorable, but
especially when they're sleeping.
God. She's a terror. So yeah.
All right, Valmer. Have a good night.
Have a good night, Valmer. Good luck with Kitty. Yeah, wrangling her is quite an experience. Don't go back there. But yeah, so they have the public beta is currently going, a content roadmap update. In Chapter 1, we introduced clan hordes and improvements of combat and how stamina works. The features we're introducing in Chapter 2 are closely linked to these changes. They've completely transformed purges into a more immersive and balanced challenge with improved rewards and control over when they occur. The attackers now have a purpose: to breach the defenses of your stronghold, steal your horde, and carry it back to their camp. We look forward to diving deep into every aspect of this new feature in an upcoming blog. So it's not just to basically destroy your stuff. It's to destroy your stuff and take your stuff and then take it back to a place where you could basically go back after it.
So take your stuff and then, teabag your thralls. They should make him do that, actually. That would be hilarious.
Program it. Program it in, guys. Improved loot. With our loot overhaul, our goal is to make loot feel much more rewarding. Dungeon chests with an epic weapon instead of crafting materials to make it more appropriate and convenient. Twine instead of plant fiber across the entire game. Getting rid of plant fiber, huh? Just making it straight into twine. Interesting. As you can guess, this has been a huge undertaking, but we think the results will be worth it. Battle Pass and cosmetics. A brand new pyramid building set will allow you to reshape the skyline with majestic pyramids. As always, you can look forward to a variety of new cosmetics, including emotes, Stygian-themed armors, weapons, pets, decorations, and more. We look forward to sharing more details about the update as we approach the launch on September 21st. So yeah, I was saying I've been playing Fallout New Vegas, and in my playthrough, I really pissed off oh my gosh, get down.
The cat? You pissed off the cat in the playthrough too?
Obviously, it's getting revenge.
Go.
You pissed me off. There goes your monitors. Be gone.
Go. Move from behind my monitors. No, go. Get out. Thank you. Oh my gosh. But no, yeah, so we're playing New Vegas, and it's basically there's like the military faction, the NCR, and then there's this Caesar's Legion, which is this other militant faction basically vying for control, and you can choose to side with one side or the other. And And they mostly played out that it's like these like the Caesar's Legion, they're bad. They're bad. The NCR itself, the military, also isn't necessarily great for the people, but it's there too. So sort of like the not as bad option, but still bad in its own way. And so it makes the game interesting like that. But if you really piss off one side or the other, they just start sending mobs after you. They just start sending squads to kill you.
It's like bounty hunters.
And at first it was like, holy crap, this is super tough. These guys are so hard. And it was like, why is this mechanic in the game? This is so hard. But it's like, but they were really tough for low-level players. And then as you started getting more powerful and more powerful, they started becoming just like, you start like looking forward to them, like, oh man, when are they going to send another one of those squads after me? Because they were basically loot delivery systems to you.
Yeah.
And without that loot delivery system, like your supply of caps would you'd be like, man, I've got, all the vendors have caps again. I don't have anything to sell. But like, when are they going to send those guys after me? And it just turned into just loot delivery and gear improving and this and that. So it's like, it really is a core mechanic of the game to eventually to just send things to kill after you periodically. And right, in Conan Exiles, it's that same concept with the Purge. And it's like, right, because you're going to kill all the guys, they're going to have gear, they're going to have loot, they're going to have this, and you're going to want that stuff. That's a good thing. She's going after a ketchup packet now.
Oh, that can be dangerous.
Yeah. She's eating worse. But she wants me to throw it for her like it's a toy.
Right.
You're crazy.
Right.
Anyway, so that's all the news that I came up with, that I was able to find for Secret World and the surrounding games. So anything else? Anything else you guys want to talk about, or is that you think that's good for the day?
No, I did my rant for today.
Nice.
I did my what grinds my gears segment.
What grinds my gears?
And the answer is Bobby Kotick.
It's part of an issue, yes.
Well, agents, this has been the 0 Point Report, strain 83-DCS. You can catch us recording live every first and third Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on the 0 Point Report Twitch channel, where you can also join us and chat with us while we do the show live, or download our show wherever podcasts are found so you can listen to us on the go. Jimmy, where can we find you online?
I would say Linktree/Jimmy the Rabbit. That way you can see the 5 billion media links in one spot.
Two-Ton Waffle, where can we find you online?
I got a new one for you. It's linkapp.com.
You son of a bitch.
linkapp.com/2-ton waffle has all my links.
You had him one up it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Being all fancy. And I'm Ocho. You can find me both on Twitch and also at Linktree/Big Mikey Ocho. I'm in solidarity with Jimmy. You can get in touch with us by engaging with the show on Twitter at 0 Point Report, checking out previous shows on our YouTube channel, and joining us on our Discord server, both named the 0 Point Report. From all of us here at the 0 Point Report, we want to thank you. I wish you all the best from the Secret World. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. And this time, let's actually go give Jimmy a raid.
Oh, this guy... Last night, he was very rude to our audience.
I mean, that's fair. In my defense, they deserved it.
Have a great night, everybody.